Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm straying away from the loot as an average player slightly to test out what seems to be a very popular AFK moneymaker, since I spend a good amount of time AFK either through editing videos or just kinda zoning out. I'll be testing out Rune dragons using fairly good equipment to see if it's still a great AFK moneymaker in 2023, or if it's fallen by the wayside. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, feel free to let me know what you enjoyed down in the comments below. Just like all the other videos, I'm going to start off with the requirements for this method. You'll need to have completed Dragon Slayer 2 to unlock this, as the area that they are located in is inaccessible prior to completion of this quest. Unlocking a dig site pendant is extremely useful for getting back here, although you can take other methods as well. I also recommend completion of the fight caves for a fire cape, although I suppose if you really wanted to use it, an Ardun cloak would work here, or the Myth's cape, since you get it from the quest. And for the stats, this is a little bit tougher to figure out. And obviously I could just blanket statement this and say max melee and max prayer, but that doesn't help anyone with anything. So you'll need at least 82 attack for the Fang, or 78 for the Dragon Hunter Lance, depending on which one you want to use, or which one you have, 90 or higher strength, at least 75 defense for the use of Justiciar armor, but higher levels can allow you to stay a bit longer. And lastly, 70 prayer for piety, as well as having unlocked preserve. The equipment required can depend on how much you really want to AFK. There are two main viable setups that can work here, and I'll start with the less AFK setup. This will consist of a Natiznot face guard, Bandos chestplate, and tassets, a dragon or a Vernic defender, either a Fang or a lance, insulated boots, a fury or a torture, a blessing, and ferocious gloves. This setup is more in line with doing more damage, and it's not as much the AFK that I'm looking for, which is going to be with the second setup, which will be a full set of Justiciar for the damage reduction, a charged dragon fire shield, and the rest will be the same, although if you wanted to cut into profits a little bit, you could use a blood fury to keep the health up, or a bone crusher necklace to get a little bit more prayer XP and prayer points. I will say that usually during my trips here, I don't really feel like I would need to bring a blood fury, but obviously if you feel like you're taking a little bit more damage and you think it's worthwhile, then I would invest into it. This setup is obviously geared towards a lot more damage reduction and helping you with staying here for a lot longer. Looking away for a little while with this setup won't result in immediately dying, so that helps with what I'm trying to test out here. The inventory that I bring with me here is pretty standard, and I shoot to save as much money as I can in supplies. With the Dragon Fire Shield, I can get away with using just a standard extended anti-fire potion, which are just a little over 1,000 for a 4-dose compared to 8,000 for an extended super anti-fire. In my rune pouch, I'll be bringing runes for high alchemy and teleports to my house. And other than that, I bring a super combat potion, 4 to 5 prayer potions, and the rest of my inventory is filled up with cheap food, such as sharks. In my opinion, rune dragons are actually one of the easiest metal dragons compared to adamant or mithril, obviously not bronze, steel, or iron. Use protect from magic, piety, and preserve for the prayers, and just keep an eye on your health and prayer throughout the fight. In general, they have 2 special attacks that they use, with the first being lightning bolts, and the second being similar to enchanted onyx bolts. The lightning attack can be avoided by simply walking to the other side of the dragon, or alternatively just tanking it, which will result in around 20 damage or so with the insulated boots. The second attack is completely unavoidable as it hits you through protection prayers, and heals the rune dragon for 100% of the damage dealt to you prior to any sort of damage roll from Justiciar. So I spent about 2 hours here, and in that time, I got 84 kills, which averages out to 42 kills per hour. In that, I made 2.37 million GP. Most of that time I spent editing videos or getting scripts ready for other videos. I used 345,000 GP in supplies, with the biggest cost being the prayer potions, and that leaves me with a nice 1 million GP profit per hour. And with current bond prices, that means I'd need to do this for roughly 8 hours to make a bond, and do something else for 2 weeks. I also got an average XP gain, 49k attack XP, 16k hit points XP, a small amount of magic XP from teleports and alching, and prayer from using the bone crusher. As you can see, this can be a very useful method to slowly earn upgrades, as well as earning combat XP, especially if you have something else to do on a computer. And while it isn't anywhere near as exciting as killing a boss, at least it earns you money. And that's pretty much going to be the end of it, and in my opinion, they are absolutely worth killing in 2023, and I'm sure they'll continue to be for many years to come. I'm on the fence about doing more videos like this, with just focusing on one method, or wanting to do a little longer video focusing on one skill, such as mining, combat, or others, and all related to just AFK money making or XP. I'll definitely be doing a video covering Slayer monster profits, as Slayer didn't seem useful to me until I was at those higher levels, and I'd love to show you just how much you can make it a little bit higher of a level. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you would rather see, or if you'd rather see me continue to die at bosses since I'm 3 for 3 at dying during an hour's test of them. The next video to come out will more than likely be covering fishing, and that one's going to be a pretty big one, so I'm really excited to get that one out. I'm sure I'm going to get a couple of fishing levels because I will be covering a lot of fishing. Don't forget, I stream usually every Friday at 9:30 p.m. Central Time on Twitch, which I'll have linked below, as well as my Discord channel. And also a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed, commented, and liked the videos. It makes me really happy to see the number go up, and I do read every single comment that gets put onto it. And as always, take care, and thank you for watching.